Right. The crypto mining boom really put GPUs on the map. Makes sense why they're still pricey. But this whole thing about hijacking GitHub servers, that's a different level. No, totally. It's not just your personal rig anymore, it's hitting the big platforms. The text mentions GitHub Actions specifically, that's where the fun starts. Exactly. The core issue is that GitHub Actions workflows can run automatically when a PR lands, even if the maintainer hasn't clicked approve. So, the attacker just needs to submit a PR with a malicious workflow file. No need for phishing emails or social engineering tricks here. Pretty slick. New slick maybe, but terrifyingly easy for anyone who wants to abuse it. It bypasses the whole human gatekeeper aspect. You just push your code and boom, the server does your bidding. That image showing the miner running looks like a perfect example of what gets unleashed. NAN, yep, SRB miner multi. Classic stuff. And notice the CPU mining enabled. Sometimes they target the CPU if GPUs are disabled or less efficient. It's all about maximizing hash rate without getting caught.
Okay, so how did this get caught? Seems like Thibaut Duponchel was the hero here, getting 7 PRs from Yfaundex Hatteron in 14 hours on repos he wasn't even involved in. That's gotta raise some eyebrows, especially the lack of description, just pure weirdness. Nan, totally, and the scale is wild. Over 23, 0 commits, 58, 0 builds. That's a massive distributed attack. Imagine the load on those servers and finding Chinese text in the code. That's a good clue it wasn't just one guy, it was likely a coordinated effort, maybe across borders. Classic cat and mouse game with GitHub trying to ban accounts while the hackers just create new ones. New. It's like a digital arms race. Ban this account, they come back as that one. It highlights how difficult it is to stop these things once the vector is open. It's not just about fixing the bug, it's about managing the ongoing threat.
So, breaking down the attack chain, fork, inject, PR, execute, it's pretty standard for supply chain attacks. They disguise the miner as something benign like prog or GCC, which is clever because it might slip past basic checks. The key is the automatic execution triggered by the PR event. It's a classic case of trusting the process, but the process itself is compromised. No, right, and it's not just GitHub. The text mentions Docker Hub, Traz CI, Circle CI too. It shows how interconnected these platforms are and how an exploit in one can potentially ripple through others. It's a systemic vulnerability in the way we build and deploy software today. Everyone relies on these automated workflows, making them prime targets. Nan, exactly. If you can inject a malicious step into any of these pipelines, you've got a foothold. It's less about breaching a specific company's firewall and more about exploiting the shared infrastructure and trust models of these platforms.
Okay, so what can we actually do about this? The text gives some good options. If you're not using actions, you're probably safe. But if you are, those permission settings are crucial. Disable actions entirely if you don't need them, or better yet, restrict to local actions only. That limits the blast radius significantly. Nan, definitely. Allow select actions is another solid choice, especially for public repos. Whitelisting trusted sources like GitHub created actions or verified creators adds a layer of control. It forces attackers to either find a way to bypass your whitelist or target repos that don't have these restrictions enabled. And reporting suspicious activity helps GitHub take down the bad actors faster, though as we saw, it's a constant battle. New, good point. It's a combination of platform-level controls and user vigilance. Plus, always double-check unexpected PRs, especially those with minimal context or from unknown contributors. Don't just merge blindly.
So, wrapping up, this isn't a solved problem. These kinds of attacks are likely to continue as long as platforms like GitHub offer powerful, easily accessible automation features. It's a constant arms race between attackers finding new ways to abuse the system and defenders trying to patch the holes. No, absolutely. It underscores the importance of security hygiene in our workflows. Understanding these risks, configuring permissions properly, and maintaining a healthy dose of skepticism towards incoming code changes are all part of the job now. And yeah, Running things in containers and isolating networks is non-negotiable when dealing with potentially untrusted code. Always test in a sandbox first.